And good evening, hello tonight, this Tuesday night, May the 14th, and we are on day 439 of the LAN Tamer stream and our journey towards the CCIE number in the routing and switching area. So, hope you're having a good Tuesday night. Mine as well. Back from being off for a few days. Actually had a day off from work yesterday and also the weekend. We had some company. Family company, and did some cool, fun things, including I finally got a annual pass to Kennedy Space Center. We did a revisit there, done some cool refurbishing, renovating, added some new things, and I always love going there. I may try to go in June for the next SpaceX Falcon Heavy launch. They've got a launch, I think, this week. But anyway, we're back to the grind, back to the security grind, and I've got some ground to make up. I say that. I mean, I do. I feel like I do. We've only gotten 4. You know, the goal is hopefully we can get done with this security section of the INE workbook by the end of this month. So we're about halfway through, and I've only gotten 4. But I think we're really going to pick up the pace here. You know, we had to finish QoS, so we finished out some QoS labs at the beginning of last week, and started hitting these labs. Took some time off, but I think we're going to go through these relatively. AA authorization gave us a little bit of trouble there, but this ACL, standard ACL, was no problem. It's pretty easy. Tonight, I'm not going to do a lot of labs tonight. I may try to, you know, I had 3 listed here. Extended ACLs, fragmented packets, and time-based ACLs. But just those few days off, I've gotten behind my Anki cards again. I've got about 60 to do. I did about 20 already today. They're relentless, man. They just keep stacking up. So, and it's better to do them every day. You really lose a bit of the memory aid and the learning aids by having to do so many at a time. The idea is just a little bit each day. So I know it's been like a constant thing to try to keep up. But anyway, life happens. I will probably try to hit this lab, extended ACLs, tonight. And maybe tomorrow we can hit, well, depending on what I get done tomorrow morning, back to the routine. Tomorrow, I went to the airport early this morning, like 3 got up 3 a.m. But tomorrow I'll be back on regular schedule, hitting the gym and then doing some labs before work. And hopefully we'll get, we might get these done. Then the next area is we got some PBR, aka policy-based routing. We've got some, fragmented packets, policy-based routing, packet spoof, URPF. This is good. In bar for content-based matching, that's going to be maybe a little more in depth than what we've done already with HTTP. I don't know. Packet log with ACL shouldn't be too bad. None of this should really be too hard. Snooping, terminal line access, IOS law. You know, this is just going to be. Anyway, should be good. Still targeting in this month so that in June I can hit this last area. Wouldn't that be awesome? If I could start June with systems management, and then July could be IP services, and we can round out through July IP services, start foundation labs in August. And troubleshooting labs, and then full-scale labs maybe, you know, in August, September, mock labs. So September, October is going to be really heavy, like big labs and speed and memorization. And then potentially November will be the exam attempt, which I won't really be signing up for. Generally, calendar, you can't sign up much more than 3 months out. So I'm looking at potentially August, mid-August, where I will even go and maybe attempt to go and book a slot. That's what it's looking like. So anyway, just coming back from a few days off, weekend, wanted to kind of get back into the grind, get reoriented, and see where we're at. So let's look at this traffic filtering using extended ACLs. By the way, I got a meat chunk. I haven't read it yet, but I saw the drawings. I still got to catch up, folks, on social media and things like that. This looks really good. Look at these cool drawings, man. But this is for the B flag in OSPF, which you got to know that if it's show IP interface brief, it's going to be an in-depth topic, expert level, and he's done his research. And he's quoting Peter Pollock here. So, I mean, this is going to be good. I can't wait to read it. I will be reading it. It's amazing how many bits are available for configuration OSPF. It is amazing indeed. Anyway, definitely check out that link of the day. Meat chunk, as it were, and here, land timber stream. And then let's hit this ACL. Now, standard disclaimer. These are not my labs. These are from the INE workbook. If you want to do these labs yourself, definitely head over to INE.com, purchase the workbook. You can purchase it outright, purchase it as part of a package. Not my lab, but I'm going to work through it, but I don't show the lab material on screen. I do not show if you want to see, for example, the configuration, screenshots, explanations, answer key, you'll need to go buy the workbook from INE. Here are the basic requirements, though. I wrote these out the other day, and I started on it. I think it's Friday, but, again, company came in and just did not have an opportunity to do it. So here's our IPv4 filtering on R4. We may even do this here in Visual Studio Code. We might not even need a router for this. We'll see. Okay, one R45 and DMVPN links with the following requirements. Any TCP traffic towards R5 sourced L0 subnets. L0 subnets? That's probably one subnet, but anyway. Return traffic also allowed. Why would I allow it out and not allow it back? Anyway, it's probably some sneakiness in there. I don't know. Maybe based on some of the other requirements here. We'll see. INE likes to be sneaky. V146. Okay. Access to on V146 to excuse me, FTP on V146 from R5 to FTP www SMTP. Only active responses. What else? EIGRP routing updates. So this is weird. They put up here, configure IPv4 filtering on R4 and DMVPN links as follows. So you would assume, okay, all these requirements will apply to both links, but that's not really, so that we can confuse things a little more. We're going to specify here only the V146 link. There are multiple links. Anyway, let's I'm writing this workbook. Let's make the requirements vague and somewhat difficult to interpret, right? I guess that's part of the game. Allow iOS trace Allow iOS traceroute. Why would it be, how could it be traceroute from any other operating system? And not just iOS. I don't get that. Traceroute and ping commands to function across R4. Yeah, let's use some very sort of vague terminology here. Ensure path MTU discovery procedure works successfully across your firewall. I didn't know we had a firewall. Please, people. That is one of the most horrendous requirements. And of course, this is what you see in the real world, right? Anyway, all right, so R4. Oh yeah, I'm expecting sneaky here. I am on the alert. I'm like, you know, the animal in the forest that is hearing like the rustling of leaves all around me. I know what I'm in for here. And you see, good to have you, by the way, Crisco762. You see me asking these questions. I'm asking them sort of out of intrigue, like, they must have put this here for a reason, and I know INE is sneaky, which is good. You know, I know that they're trying to get you to think. And why write a clear set of requirements? There are two types of traceroute. Yeah, when I first saw this, I thought about this and I thought, I think I have seen this before. So this is kind of, we're not just going to sort of teach about extended ACLs. Let's sneak in some sort of traceroute stuff here, which is cool. That's fine. All right, so deny and log all other traffic. So we've got two verbs here. So let's sort of break this down. We are going to need a router for this to get a config going here, I think. So we'll fire up our lab. And prepare to do battle. All right. IP access list extended. We'll say R4 and DMVPN. Wait a second. R4 is VLAN 45 and DMVPN links. So we're going to say IP access list extended R4. Let's see, V45 to R V45 out. Yeah, let's do that. And we'll have IP access list extended V45 in. IP access list extended. The DMVPN link here. I think there's going to be tunnel 0. We'll boot up R4 and R5 here. All right, so V45 out. Any TCP traffic, okay. Permit TCP and 150 dot R4 allows any TCP traffic towards R5 is sourced from the loopback 0 subnets. R4 only has a single loopback 0 subnet. But that almost implies we need any of the subnets, the loopback 0 subnets on our network, which is 150.0. Let's see, 150.1.0.0, 0.0.255. Any. And return traffic is also allowed. Permit TCP any 150.1.0.0, 0.0.2525. When that is the destination. Let's take a look and see here. Don't want to capture. Not sure why when I double click R5 that it tries to open a capture. Oh, this already opened over here. Okay, R5 did open. Good. Let's go to R4. Okay, this time it did not try to open Wireshark. No, it did. Capture to 0. Very odd. R4. It says R4. Well, we're coming back to a little bit of a R4 is already open. Showipintbri brief. How are you, man? I was just talking about your post. I'm so looking forward to reading your OSPF post in the B-bit. Yeah, put it. It's on. You can see it up above here, and link of the day. Looks like a really nice post. Drawings, good stuff, man. I'm sure it's a deep subject. Hope your labbing's going well, man. When I least expect it. Whoa, it's Showipintbri brief. Yeah, playing with some extended access lists today. Doing some ACLs, trying to get our lab to cooperate here. Let's just, let's shut her down again. Haven't opened the lab in 4 days or so. Doing the morning lab shift, 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. Okay. Okay, that's a shift for you, isn't it? Yeah, I'm doing like 7 to 8 p.m. now, and in the mornings from like 7 to 9. Or 6 to, depending on when I need to get going on work and when I get done with everything after the gym. So it's split right now. Yeah, I'm trying out this new schedule. Works out. Yeah, I can imagine so, man. Be curious to see how that goes. Getting up, so interesting. I get up early now. I'm old man hours right now. That progressed over time. So what happened was when I started doing CrossFit, I knew there's no way I'm going to be able to do it after work. But to do it before work means I'm going to have to get up really early, which I'm a night owl. I'm not used to. This is when I was single at the time. I'm like, I just don't know how I'm going to do it. But I mean, if I'm going to do it, I got to do it. I got to commit to it. So I was getting up at that time at like 5:30 or 5 a.m., something like that. And it was tough in the beginning. It really was. For the first, I'd say, month. But I got through it, and after that, I got used to old man hours, and I really like it now. Now I get up at 4:30 every morning, and go and work out, and I like it. I do. The reason I like it, a couple reasons. One is because if you're working out or whatever you're doing, I don't know, you feel once you get used to it, you feel pretty fresh by around like 6 a.m. And if you're if you work better in the mornings anyway, you really like it. Plus, I tend to have energy quite a bit throughout the day when I get started like that. I don't know why. Working out or not working, especially working out, you get adrenaline rush. But even if I don't, and I get up a reasonable hour, if I get up later now in the day, I just never feel like my day reaches its potential. Yes, and Crisco 762, that's true. And most of the time I do change requests, change windows, they are after 10 p.m. Eastern time, like the earliest. So that kind of screws me up the next day. I don't make it into the gym the next day. I'll get up, depending on how long it takes, and but fortunately for me, that is not super. Since I've shifted over to Cloud Team, I've not had to do as many of those changes that involve, potentially an outage and require a change window. Prior to that too, we had an offshore team that would help. They would cover like other shifts. So oftentimes I was able to delegate some tasks to them and not have to be up unless they had a problem. They would call me, some things I just had to do myself. But yeah, very good point. So router 4 and 5 are up now. Now that we had a little time to chitty chat and wait for this thing to boot up, we're good. So let me see if the interfaces are up. Okay. Now let's talk about DMVPN. I believe it's tunnel 0. So that is where we will be applying the access list. It says DMVPN, V45 and DMVPN links, because that's how we reach router 5. So 4.5 in, 4.5 out, okay. Access on V146 from R5. So what I'm thinking is here, R5 will be coming in either this or this interface, but specifically we're allowing access to our V146 IP addresses because that's where we have servers connected apparently. We're going to do FTP, www, SMTP. Those should be pretty easy. So this is going to be, we're going to create another access list, T0in. and T0 out. And we're going to permit TCP equals www. Source is any destination. I know I'm probably not doing this right, but we'll get it here in a second. 146 dot. Now, this VLAN, we're going to do the whole range. Even though on router 4 we only have a single address on this, I'm saying VNet, VLAN. VNet's the Azure term. Even though we only have a single IP, there could be servers, I'm assuming, on this VLAN itself. So we're going to do the whole range. And we're going to allow, so we have to look at both sides. In. And in here as well. And I need more practice on like the ports and stuff. So let me just make sure I got the parser right here. Let's try to do this. Okay, yeah, it worked. TCP. Let's put these in an order too. Let's do in actually. In then out, in then out. So I'm gonna do this. Okay, yeah, I thought that would be wrong. Permit TCP. Oh, they let us do object groups on this iOS version. Interesting. So we're going to say any equals www and destination address. TCP any www 151.46.0.0.0.0.0.255. And we'll just do that because it could be any port as the source port. Permit TCP any equals, yeah. And we're going to do the same here. On T0N, now our out. Permit TCP 151.146.0.0.0.255 equals www any. That'll be our return traffic. Let's get rid of these spaces here. Not all those. Forget the key sequence on the Mac. There we go. All right, let's just put all these in here and see if they work. Oops, got an extra 5, I think. Yep. Otherwise, I think we're okay. Is that down here as well? Somehow I repeated that. Copy paste. Okay, so that worked. That should cover www. I did that one, that was the easiest. Let's also do SMTP. and out. Same. Okay, let's see if that works. Should. All right, FTP. Now there's FTP and FTP data, right? So let's see how we're going to word this here. By the way, a good reference to have, this is one of my flashcards, is common port numbers, which you can still access on the doc.cd. In case you had something really like unusual, let me just see, make sure I can find it here. Let's go full menu. And then you would go product support, security, Cisco ASA. You would do configuration guides, ASA 9.1, ASA REST API, check that out. You do CLI book 1, and under reference, address, protocols, and ports. So, you know, there's not actually a lot of them here. Well, there's a few. So here's FTP and FTP data, right? Control port and the data port. So it's saying here, only active responses from servers in V146. So only active responses. I'm guessing that's just the data. Ted Gambino. FTP separates the men from the boys. I might turn out to be a boy here, I think. I'm going to say, and I could be wrong, but I'm going to say we want to allow in, and this is any, but we're going to want to say FTP, which is control in, as opposed to passive FTP, I'm assuming. Well, you know, the funny thing is, too, like a lot of people are using secure FTP these days, right? But yeah, it doesn't really have anything here. I would say that we want FTP in and probably FTP and FTP data out. Yes, SFTP. So we'll see. Actually, we're going to do... I've had to do this before. And it's been... I had to do this on the PIX years ago. In fact, on the PIX, you do like a fix-up protocol. I don't know if anybody remembers those. Data. Let's go with that. And we're going to do this down here as well. Oh, yeah. So it still has fix-up. Okay. Interesting. You think I'm on the right? I hope so, Crisco. This would be my guess right now if I took the test today. And these two lines will be the same. Because when you think about it, the client's going to send to FTP on the standard FTP port. And he's asking for data, and data will be sent from the server to the client. I guess the client could send data as well. if he was copying up to an FTP server. Let's see. Align the FTP in the same direction, pretty much. Yeah. I would think so, right? Again, I guess unless you are doing you're writing FTP information. I don't know. We'll see. So there's FTP and FTP data. I think you still might have to need control information, but let's see. All right, so then EIGRP routing updates. That is protocol 88, I believe. Yep. So we're going to do permit. Now this will be, yeah, both directions. So permit, and I'm not sure if you can just do EIGRP here. Let's see. Or if I have to do like IP protocol 89. Guess it depends on your platform. Let's see, IP access list extended. Permit. I see, okay, you can just EIGRP, good. Permit EIGRP. And do we know the IPs we're talking about here? EIGRP routing updates. Okay, so EIGRP, theoretically, that would cover any routing updates. Okay, any. We're going to say both in and out. Yeah, it just depends if they want you to match multicast IP or not. Well, yeah, I guess this would cover. This should cover unicast and multicast, I would think. The fact that they're using protocol 88. We'll see. Allow iOS trace route. Okay, here's the. We got to get into these different ICMP. By the way, you have to deny any and log here at the end, so we can't just use implicit. All right, let's look at these permit. UDP. Oh, we do have ICMP. Okay, ICMP. Man, I was hoping I could get help here on the parser because I don't remember the details here. Let me see if there is in this guide. Maybe this is where a case for the guide might actually save your bacon. Okay, here we go. We got ICMP types, I think. Aha. CCR bus, baby. Have a great 4 a.m. labbing session tomorrow, buddy. I'll be up at 4:30. But you're getting up even before me, which is quite an achievement. I thought I got up early. Wish you the best, my friend. Good to see you. So this might be the types. Yeah, types have subtypes. Echo, you know, we commonly use that. Yeah, path MTU uses would cover fragmentation. Crisco, I hope so. Do you think the parse will actually abstract that one for you? Let's see. So let's say permit ICMP. And then we'll say any, what are our requirements here? So it's got to work across R4. So that could be any source, any destination. Okay, maybe there is, so this is what you're talking about, right, Crisco? Okay, good. So here, wow, they give us a lot of options, don't they? I don't even have to know the code in the subtypes. Fragments, check non-initial fragments. Packet too big, okay. Source quench is even in here. Okay, so let's look at these. Yeah, packet too big. Fragmentation is needed, and do not fragment is set. So I guess we're only going to allow these. We need to allow trace route, ping, and path MTU discovery. So echo and echo reply, that covers. So we do, let's see, permit ICMP any echo. Can we string these together? Probably not. No. Each one has to be a separate line. So that's ping and trace route. I like where Crisco's going. Packet too big. If we don't allow this, then this message will not get back to the sender. And it will never know where the MTU fails. Not iOS trace route though. Okay. Good call out. I probably would have skipped over that. Is that, so let me think about this. All right, won't allow packet too big. Otherwise, you're right. Path MTU won't work. So now I want to say it's information reply and information request. And the reason I say that is I remember studying a little bit for the written exam and studying IPSLA. And with IPSLA, there's what was that? With IPSLA, yeah, you had two types of essentially reachability. And when you use a responder with which would be iOS, you could actually get more exact time. I think you could do both directions. Oh, traceroute is its own. Yeah. Traceroute is its own. So yeah, packets. iOS traceroute is just Linux traceroute. Windows uses a different protocol for the path discovery. I wouldn't doubt it. It was specific default port ranges. Windows traceroute at ICMP base. They are in the docs, okay? Yeah, I have no idea what the port ranges are. I would have to try to find them. And I'm not sure, I guess. So let's see, if we go to, let me see if I can find these in the docs. Configuration guides. I was thinking about that too, Crisco. The extended trace route or the extended ping, because it'll say the default, right? Like, yeah, when you hit question and it shows you the defaults. That's one way. I think it's in ASA docs. Could be. Would the SLA guide have it? Probably not. Okay, yeah, UDP echo and ICMP echo. And then you have ICMP path echo operations. I think, yeah, it's not really UDP, but under ICMP echo, there's also path jitter. Had to make ACL to prevent this in the real world a while back. Is that right? Additional references. RFC 862, that would probably have it, but I can't use that in the lab. Yeah, I know. Traceroute is it's a crapshoot, right? On whether it's provides valuable information or not. Yeah, the information. That's a UDP traceroute. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The best is when people try to use traceroute to troubleshoot a VPN tunnel and do it from the gateway. Oh my gosh. Why can't I ping from this IP address? Oh, yeah, that cracks me up. Folks, it's like that's not a real. You're going to have unpredictable results pinging from you can have unpredictable results. Pinging from a firewall's trying to generate a ping from a firewall's own interface, depending on what you're doing. Don't expect it to always work like a regular ping from a host behind an interface on a firewall, right? Well, folks, I think what I may do is just, I could just take a guess here, but at this stage there's no point. So I'm going to go with what I know, and then we'll see what the workbook says. So then I'm going to say deny any log here at the end. Let's see if this works. First we'll do at least the part I do know. No IP access list extended. This is like trivia area. This is Trivial Pursuit a little bit here, to be honest. It's part of it. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. This is the game of certification. You win or you die. Sorry for the GOT reference there. Man, that episode Sunday night was something else. Yeah, I was thinking that I need to do log. Do I have to type? No, I can just type log, right? Yeah. We are talking about IPv4 here. That was stated in the beginning. Yeah, then show me a screenshot saying the tunnel doesn't work. Oh, I love that. Don't you just love it? Okay, we want to do this. Yeah, no. All right, we'll see how we did. We'll pop these in here. There we go. Lest we forget our access group statements, right? Wouldn't that be the craziest thing? Like if you, that would be a typical dumb exam thing to do. Deny permit TCP any equals. Extra any's on here. You do this long, great. You get your ACL, looks good. You put your ACL in, and then you forget to put in the access group statements. Yeah. Not a smooth move. All right, I'm skipping something here. Let's go back to these two. Take them out, put them back in. Make sure there's no errors. Looks good. And then we'll do these two. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the guides. We'll do our access group statements. Interface GI0145 access group V45 in access group V45 out. I think I have those in the right order. Let's see. Okay, interface GI0145. Can I not do that on a sub interface? Wait a second. Why can I not use this on a sub interface? Oh, IP access group, chat 0145. Is that must be just a router thing? Maybe not. I don't recall having to do that on the ASA. Interface T0, IP access group, yep, 0. Right, the ASA. That word IP doesn't exist on the ASA. Okay. Yeah, I'm so used to doing access lists on ASAs. I really, for both filtering and also for VPN configurations, right? And object groups. I love object groups on the ASA, 8.3 and beyond. If the router command is IP something, AS command is just something. Okay, yeah. I have not done a lot of ACLs on routers, really. Most of my ACL experience is on ASAs, so maybe that's why my tendency is to, I need to move beyond that tendency, obviously. My chat's so delayed, sorry. Hey, no problem. That could be me. It could be my system. I don't know. Okay. So show interface jazz 0145. Show IP interface jazz 0145. Outgoing access list is v45 out. Inbound access list is v45 in. Show IP interface T0. Outgoing ACLs T0 out, T0 in. Doing ACL routes is a pain because it doesn't have a state table. Unless you use zone-based firewall on iOS, which I basically never see in production. I tried that for a while, one client, and it did not, I don't know, I didn't invest enough time to really learn it. Okay, so that should be our setup, and let's see how we did. Oh man, they got a lot of remarks in there, which is great. It's what you should do. I invested enough time to learn for the CCIE and I've never used it since. CCIE security? Please tell me that's not on the blueprint for the lab. Please tell me that's not. Oh, on V4. Okay, interesting. I see a lot on iWAN deployments, local internet. Oh, okay, local internet breakout. Sure, sure. Certified virtual designs. Okay, but iWAN is going away anyway. True, true that. You know, I like this format. I've actually never thought about doing it this way. But they'll have... Maybe I've done this with asterisks, but I kind of like that. So they'll put spacers here. 20 and 21. Trailer spotters retail where they, yeah, I can see that where they're cheap. Yeah, I can see that, Crisco. Or we just get the cheap hardware like the Sonic walls or or the bundled, like Sonic Wall with content filtering built in. Like, So range, I thought FTP data was 21. Let's go back to our reference. ASA appendix. Yeah, FTP data is 20 and 21 is FTP. So I'm okay there. Well, let's compare. So let's see. I have inbound. Yeah, this is their inbound. I don't understand this. True, other spot. Don't say the S word. Bard been scarred for life by son. Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't get me started. I don't see him anymore, but when I was starting out as a consultant and got a lot of the small gigs, I used to see them a lot for a while. Palo Alto, Checkpoint, Fortinet. Fortinet I've worked on. We started to deploy checkpoints at my current employer. Well, prior to one of our mergers, we actually purchased the checkpoints and we're getting ready to set them up to replace our ASAs, all of them. And we had a merger and standards changed and that didn't happen. All right, so they're saying, now it looks like they're using the same ACL for both, but not sure how that would work as we are asked over here to come to think about it, yeah, I did mess up here. I don't know why I was thinking that was only for the V45 link. Something I read in here made me think, I guess in the beginning I would use a V45 link, but no, there really had to be no, should have really been no difference here. So very good point. Inbound, wait, yeah, well, let's leave that. Inbound, let's do that. That, and this makes sense. That will take out these individual ones and we'll just do an inbound and outbound. Yeah, because all the other lines are pretty much the same. For some reason, that first requirement, I thought I imagined, I guess, that would make the list different, but it doesn't. So I don't know. I'm spooked now because last week, I think it was, well, not last week. Yeah, it was with QoS where it was not just allowing me to put in a replacement command. It was making me take out the old command first. Now I'm gun shy. I think I have to do that with every command. I guess it's best practice. But that's what I'm doing. So, all right, let's go back here. Should be able to just paste all of this in. Oh no, we gotta, There we go. All right. So they have this format I don't really understand. What do they mean? Permit? Permit TCP any. All right, we're talking about the source. Ah, that is true. That is true. If it's inbound, the source could be any port, really. Yeah, these are incorrect. That is right. Okay, so I'm going to take this out. I'm still going to do it my way. But this should be any equals www SMTP. Any source with this as a destination. Man, that's a very important detail, right? I guess now if it said use the fewest lines possible, then yes, this would be the correct command, right? So we wouldn't use equal. You'd say range 20 and 21. Yeah, that's better. I will admit, that is better. Okay, I think we're on the right track now. All right, let's see how we did on the other parts. Active FTP uses ports 20 and 21. $80 and $25, that's right. Oh. Now this is interesting. So it is saying permit TCP any established. Now, why would I only allow established connections? That's going to drop your sins, right? Yeah, but how can I ever establish a connection if I'm not allowed to create a connection? So I'm basically going to age out. That's what's going to happen. By doing this, I'm saying I'm going to let the connections that are there finish. And eventually they will, well, they might never, but realistically speaking, they will eventually end, disconnect, but no new connections can be established. Sounds like draining connections on a load balancer. Okay. Match established connections. Match all. Match. Huh. So I can set these flags here. Wow, interesting. Why would you ever do such a thing, though? I can see that, I guess, if you're troubleshooting, making changes, and you don't want to allow any new connections, but you want to kill off the existing connections. You want to drain them. Okay. Some of this is like on the edge of reality, but I guess I could really try hard to campaign for a potential use case on that. But if you're to that degree of troubleshooting, okay, the ICMP is all wrong, and I have no idea why, but I guess I'm gonna have to study more ICMP. All right, so it's saying permit ICMP. No, permit UDP any range 33434 to 33474. Trivia. That is trivia right there, man. I mean, for real? Yeah, Cisco, expect me to be able to find this information. Please don't expect me to memorize it. Like, as a CCIE, I should know that, I can Google that, but you can expect me to memorize that on, okay. Disheartening, indeed. Permit ICMP any port unreachable. This is for outbound trace route UDP probes. Permit ICMP any time exceeded. No idea. I mean, at this point, the scope of what I'm going to have to learn just went off the charts. Permit ICMP any packet too big. We have that one. Agreed. Tech MB no. Trace route relies on port unreachable and TTL expired messages. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But to remember all these options, I'm just kind of grappling with how to do that. I mean, you saw all the ICMP options. Any. So think about host isolated. Host TOS redirect. Network unknown. Option. So this is a lot of options here. My question to the air is, how many of these am I going to need to memorize? Yeah, so what can be defined as non-arcane? Obviously, the ones in this lab, I would imagine. So I'll probably just learn these and go from there. Make flashcards for them. Permit ICMP any packet too big. I mean, I understand these options. Echo reply, entropy any, IP any log. Okay, cool. Right, yeah. And who decides which are arcane and not, right? Also, the TCP, there's quite a number of flags. Okay, cool. Give me the list too, then, to get me know. They just ask you. Oh, you're hilarious, man. That cracks me up. I needed that. Oh man, so I'm covered, man. I just get your list, and I'm good to go. You just got to understand how ping and trace how it works, and you're fine. There's so many options though that you can use. Like those extended ping options. And for example, okay, source quench. That would seem arcane. Redirects are good to know, sure. Source quench would seem arcane to most. Yeah, I've never seen a source quench message in a Wireshark capture, but I'm not saying this is useful. It might be useful in the lab. I don't know. I haven't done a lab, but could it be useful in the curriculum for one of these Cisco exams? Possibly. That to me is arcane because yes, I looked. And I even think I tried to generate one and couldn't. You usually allow. Yeah, try to find information on source quench. You can find some in the RFC, but in terms of like practical implementation, trust me, I did a search. Probably didn't search long enough, but I don't know, that's the level of that's the lack of faith I guess I have due to past experience in the trivia factor that I might encounter in a lab. I made a list a few years ago on what ICPF is to allow to be a good citizen. That's cool, man, if you have it. Right, I understand. Not relevant for the exam. I've seen some of those too. I've seen others put out those lists. Like, here's a standard, like firewall, ICMP, allow or don't allow list. Also, when you consider IPv6, I don't know, it's just a little bit overwhelming to think about at the moment, but I will at least try to learn these. So on the outbound, everything else looked good. It does the whole range on TCP outbound. And we've got this reverse, right? So this would be any. Yeah, so we need to put the source port here. TCP source. Yeah, these are right. The outbound is correct. Yeah, JRP. Yeah, we've got the range here, as I mentioned. So they're allowing both for, I guess, active. So a couple notes. Common ICMP types, subtypes, or ACLs. We're gonna make some cards out of these and grind it on. The UDP probes are the same. Again, this is just going to come down to memorization. Trivia, memorization. Active, there's no server. Both peers are servers from an ACL point of view. Cool. Okay, yep, just the reverse. There's really no, except, oh, I see what you mean about state and TCP. That makes sense. Because on the outbound, okay, so the outbound we have permit TCP, this source, any. And on this inbound, it's established. So what that means is I can only initiate TCP connections out. And when we see traffic back in, that's what you mean by stateful, which is kind of like a firewall does examine this, right? Yes, and so I can, this is not just to like drain connections or anything when I enter this ACL. What this means is I'm allowing outbound so I can establish connections out, initiate connections, but they'll be one way. And I'm going to allow traffic back in on those same established connections. But I'm not going to send a SYN ACK out because I'm not allowing a SYN in. Right. Which is kind of how a firewall works, right? On some of these rules. Network pitch load, that can be faked, established. Oh, anything can be faked, right? Yeah, it's not very good security. Yeah, a lot of people would argue that traditional ACLs is the old model of security, right? Okay. Lessons learned. Many lessons were learned. Great help was received from the chat. You all are awesome. Obviously knowledgeable. You've lent me some good tips, experience. Well, Cisco wants you doing TrustSec everywhere, of course. And in the cloud, they want you doing a role-based access and managed service identities, multi-factor authentication for user authentication. Yeah, man. Crazy, but hey, you still got your old ACLs. Not getting away from those completely anytime soon. They use them in the cloud as well. They absolutely use them in the cloud. So of course you can apply an ACL essentially on just about anywhere. And of course in the cloud you can now use you can filter on tags, which is really useful. That's where you start to get some powerful filtering capabilities as well. But that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Thanks so much, folks, for hanging out. It's good to be back in the lab here, watching the good bits go by and hanging out with you fine people in the community. Thanks so much for helping out in the chat. And hey, we'll do it again tomorrow night. Tomorrow we'll focus on, looks like, yeah, fragmented packets and time-based ACLs. Hopefully we'll be able to get to both of those. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you back here soon in the Land Tamer stream. Good bits to all. What's the question? Is L3 VPN still part of the topics? Absolutely. So yeah, we have like DMVPN is a big part of the topics, and there's L3 VPNs there. So yeah, absolutely. IP and IP and site to site, IPsec. Yep. And we'll be covering, going back over that again at some point. But yeah, great question. Thanks so much, folks. See y'all tomorrow night.